My home is 40 minutes to Ikebukuro by train. Disk Union Ikebukuro is exit 35, the central east exit, and when you walk upstairs from the underground walkway to exit 35, Disk Union is right there, so it's very easy to find. So remember, exit 35 on the Ikebukuro line in Tokyo, and you'll find Disk Union. Now, Disk Union Ikebukuro, it is a typical Disk Union store. It's not huge. It has a mix of used and new records, CDs, DVDs, clothing, T-shirts. They have books. They have a lot of ephemera, old concert booklets, let's say from when Mountain played in Tokyo and other things like that. They have punk T-shirts, or original T-shirts. I mean, you can tell what's new and what's reproduced. So they had T-shirts that were from the Ramones days and Metallica days. I didn't look at the prices, but I mean, I got a spot of lunch before I went to Disk Union Ikebukuro. I went to Denny's. It's an easy place to go to. It's an easy place to order, has foreigners, and it's also like an easy place to eat at alone, because I was alone. And that's one thing that I like about Japan. If you're a single woman or a single man and you go out to a restaurant, there's no stigma about eating alone. There's absolutely none. Whereas in the United States, the maitre d' will say, "Oh, table for one," and seat you away from the other diners out of view. There's none of that here. And one thing that the chain restaurants have, whether it's Kura Sushi or Denny's, they have iPad tablets at each table or at each counter seat, where there's an interactive display, and you order that way. So I ordered today's lunch special. It wasn't anything of great shakes. Here's a picture of it. It's some healthy grilled chicken and a salad and a little macaroni and some secret sauce. It was okay. But the point of it is it's in the same building as Disk Union Ikebukuro. So I had my lunch, and then I went upstairs to shop at the Disk Union in Ikebukuro. So that was a nice thing. Japan is an ocean of vinyl, and the three major chain retailers are Disk Union, Tower Records, and yes, it's the same logo as the Tower Records that my friends in the United States are familiar with, and HMV. I think it's a Japanese company. I don't think it's a British company. So Disk Union has 47 retail locations in Japan. The bulk of it is in Tokyo. For example, 2 in Osaka, 2 in Nagoya. The rest are in Tokyo, Saitama, and Chiba. And let's say that Chiba neighbors Tokyo has Saitama neighbors Tokyo. I live in Saitama, and Saitama, an easy way to put it, is a bedroom community for many. It's a 40-minute train ride from Ikebukuro, and it's a place where young people will live because they can get a little bit extra space without paying the very high rents of Tokyo, and so that's a plus for Saitama. People buy houses in Saitama at affordable prices. They have lawns. They have, well, not as big as the U.S. lawns, but they have little lawns, and they have a little bit of outdoor space. So it's kid friendly. That's a good way of putting Saitama. The other thing that Disk Union in Ikebukuro has is a book section, and one of the things that I saw were these reference books. I'll show the picture now. For jazz collectors, so people might want to take note of these. These were available when I was there, and they were not in Japanese. They're imports. They were in English language. There are stories that people in the vinyl community talk about. People who live in the States, people who live in the UK, talk about times that they've been at a record store or a record fair, and they've seen visitors from Japan, in business suits come in and buy bulk of records. And that's true of Disk Union. They make ongoing pilgrimages to the United States to buy collections and to buy wholesale records. And as they buy there, they also buy here. And what I mean by that is that Disk Union produces a quarterly publication. This one is for the summer of 2023. And this is a 23-page printed publication that I picked up at the store yesterday, where they list records, vinyl records that they're looking to buy. And, you know, they're looking for Japanese pressings, of course, but they're also looking for CDs. I mean, here they're looking for a Todd Rundgren Something Anything CD for 1,800 yen. That's what they'll buy it for. I mean, it's not a king's ransom for a lot of people, but, you know, people who have these records might want to bring them by for a bit of extra cash. But there, I saw printed signs, and I'm going to show you a picture here of Parlophone pressings that Disk Union is looking for. I mean, look at this, 800,000 yen. I mean, you know, ballpark, that's $7,000 for that record. $1,000. You know, they're paying, I mean, I know that these also fetch top dollar in other parts of the world, but I'm showing you this because people who are viewing this only have these records in their possession and might be interested in exploring buyers outside of your country that might pay top dollar for what you have. For example, the Rolling Stones, Beggar's Banquet, or Lola by the Kinks, or this copy of Quadrophenia, or this copy of Wheels on Fire, this copy of Roxy music. I mean, I'm trying to sell this now. They're looking for UK pressing, pink label. Not that hard to find. I have this little feat. I'm not going to sell it to them. They would pay me up to 10,000 yen. So maybe they'd offer me $60 for it US. And let's see. Ooh, look at this. King Crimson, in the heart of the Crimson King. That's not such a rare label. I'm sure a lot of you have come across that on a daily basis. I actually had this copy of Yes Fragile. I sold mine, and I got something close to that privately on Yahoo Auctions. So this gives you a taste, and I'll show some other pictures. Here's some German titles that they're after, Can and others. I hope this is legible. If not, I will I'll post stills over this video footage. Modric 24/7 posted that recently. There is Niagara, and they're asking around a little bit under $100 for it. So, and they have a shoegaze section. Look at that. You guys know a lot of these records. So that's what Disk Union is looking for, and I just thought this was really interesting. And as I go about this, I've shown this once before. This is Record Map. This will probably take me years to go through. Ikebukuro alone. There's a Disk Union that I went to yesterday, and there's two other stores, Coconuts and Darumaya. Disk Union wasn't thrilled that I was filming yesterday, but they didn't stop me. So I don't really have a lot of pans of the shop because I was cognizant of other shoppers. It was a Friday, and so there were a lot of people in there on their lunch breaks shopping. So it is what it is. I did manage to pick up this Ensemble in Chicago with Lester Bowie's Brass Fantasy. This was recorded in Tokyo in 1990, and this is actually distributed by Disk Union, DIW Records in Chiyoda-ku were the publishers. That was 1990. So Again, I picked that up yesterday for 1990 for 700 yen. I think that there's a vinyl copy of this, but it's really expensive, and I really had never heard the record before, and so, you know, I put my toe in the water and bought that record. So thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this, and any questions, make some comments in the comment section below, like and subscribe and all of that, and that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.